What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sick Eric Tech, and today we're going to be comparing the NUU B30 Pro to the Motorola Edge 2024. And a lot of you might be saying that this is a no contest comparison because the Motorola Edge is totally going to kick the NUU B30 Pro's ass, but it's still going to be fun comparing the two. So let's go ahead and get started. Thank you guys for joining me here on Sick Eric Tech. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing, and I would really appreciate that. So going on over the dimensions of each of the device. So the Motorola comes in at 6.28 inches tall, 2.83 inches wide, and 0.32 inches thin. It weighs at about 6.14 ounces. It does have a eco leather back, which is pretty much going to be a vegan leather back, IP68 dust and water resistance on the Motorola Edge 2024. Going on over to the B30 Pro plastic frame. Dimensions are 6.37 inches tall, 2.92 inches wide, and 0.34 inches thin. And it does not have any IP rating on the NUU B30 Pro. Now, the NUU B30 Pro does have Dragon Tail glass on the front and Gorilla Glass 3 on the back with a plastic frame. Now going on over to the display, so the Motorola Edge does come with a PLED 6.6-inch display, supports 1 billion colors, 144 Hz, and supports HDR10 Plus with 1300 nits peak brightness. Has a resolution of 1080 by 2400 and 402 pixels per inch. It is covered by Corning Gorilla Glass 3. Going on over to the NUU B30 Pro, has a 6.7-inch AMOLED Full HD Plus. Supports 120 Hz refresh rate, 1080 by 2400, 405 pixels per inch, and it does not support any sort of HDR10 or anything like that. And I would totally give the win to the Motorola just because the display on there is absolutely phenomenal, has a higher refresh rate, and has a better resolution, and just looks really good compared to the NUU B30 Pro. So both of these devices are running Android 14. The NUU B30 Pro came out with Android 13, but it recently got updated to Android 14 within the past month, so that's fantastic. I remember getting the update for that. The Motorola does come with a Snapdragon 7S Gen 2 processor, and it does have the Adreno 710 GPU. You get 8 GB of RAM and 256 GB of internal storage with UFS 2.0. Going on over to the NUU B30 Pro, you get the MediaTek Dimensity 7050 processor, and like I said, Android 14. The GPU is going to be the ARM Mali G68 MC4 GPU. You get 12 GB of RAM and 256 GB of internal storage. No micro SD card on either one of these, so keep that in mind. So both of these devices can handle your gaming and mostly your high intensity stuff, but not too much when it comes down to processing power. The NUU B30 Pro, I do find it lagging sometimes, especially when using the camera on there, and the Motorola Edge can't handle too much when it comes down to editing video. It does tend to crap out and say not enough memory. So both of these devices definitely do have issues with multitasking, but for the average person scrolling the internet, taking pictures and going, stuff like that, social media, playing some games, these devices will do just fine. But if you're a really high intensity user, you like to multitask a lot and do a lot of high intensity stuff on your device, both of these devices may not be for you. So the Motorola Edge does have a 50 megapixel main sensor on there. It does support PDAF and optical image stabilization. You get a 13 megapixel ultra wide, and it does have autofocus, so that's really good. You get 4K 60 frames per second on the rear and 4K 30 on the front. Your front facing camera is going to be a 32 megapixel front facing shooter. Does support HDR, and like I said, you can record up to 4K 30 frames per second, and it also does have autofocus. Going on over to NUU B30 Pro, it has a 108 megapixel main sensor, no OIS, but electronic stabilization. It has an 8 megapixel ultra wide, and it also has a 2 megapixel macro lens on there. You can record up to 4K 30 frames per second on the rear and 1080p on the front facing camera. 32 megapixels is going to be that front facing camera. So as far as which one does better in the photo department, it is no contest. The Motorola blows the new B30 Pro out of the water. Alright, so here is the new B30 Pro recording at 1080p on the front facing camera. It is pretty windy out here, so we're going to keep this short. New B30 Pro recording at 1080p on the front facing camera. Let's go on over to the Motorola, shall we? Alright, so here we got the Motorola Edge recording on the front facing camera at 4K. So at a higher frame rate, we are recording at 4K 30 frames per second. And obviously, Motorola is going to look way better than the B30 Pro. So what you think of the video? I think the Motorola definitely does way better when it comes down to exposure. The new B30 Pro just looks very bad. The brights are going to be all blown out. It's out of focus a lot. The new B30 Pro's cameras aren't the best. Motorola actually does really good. And it's crazy to say that a Motorola device does better than another device. But yeah, the pictures and the video coming from the Motorola Edge are absolutely fantastic. As you can see in the photos being shown to you right now. It didn't take a lot, but I did take a few, and I just thought that it wouldn't be no contest to go into depth on the cameras, because it's just going to be insane how the new B30 Pro's cameras are the worst. So there you go for the camera department. So both of these devices do have stereo speakers, but the Motorola Edge does have Dolby Atmos support, so you're able to tweak your audio to your liking, while over here on the new B30 Pro, you do not have any Dolby Atmos support, as you can see right there. While over here, you do have Dolby Atmos and everything that it has to offer, along with spatial audio as well. So let's go ahead and take a listen of how these speakers sound. Alright, so which one do you think sounded better? I think the Motorola did get louder, but there was some clipping at the highs. It was a little bit too loud. While the new B30 Pro sounded pretty good, it definitely did not get as loud as the Motorola Edge, but still everything stayed pretty composed, and the bass was there, and everything stayed pretty much even out when it came down to the mids and the highs. So which one do you think sounded better, the Motorola Edge or the new B30 Pro? On the new B30 Pro, you get Wi-Fi 6, you get Bluetooth 5.2 on the new, and you get Bluetooth 5.2 also on the Motorola Edge. Now, both of these devices do have in-display fingerprint sensors and facial recognition, but I'm going to say that the Motorola's fingerprint sensor is definitely faster than the Blue's, and it gives you more of an acknowledgement when it's been unlocked, while the new B30 is just it'll flash sometimes and it won't work. You don't know if it's been registered or not. So I always have issues unlocking the NUU B30 Pro when it comes down to that optical fingerprint sensor. Both of them are placed pretty low on the device. As you can see right here, I cannot get the NUU B30 Pro to acknowledge my fingerprint. So that is kind of annoying sometimes. There we go. So both of them are pretty low on the device. Facial recognition actually works pretty good on both of these and is actually fast and accurate. So another advantage I would say that the Motorola Edge does have over the NUU B30 Pro is going to be the software department. So you get a lot more when it comes down to gestures on the Motorola Edge and customization when it comes down to customizing your device. You can personalize it a little bit more than you can on the NUU B30 Pro. The NUU B30 Pro does have stock Android on here and actually looks really well. But as far as customization goes, the Motorola offers more. And when it comes down to all your gestures, you do get a little bit more on the Motorola when it comes down to gestures, while over here on the NUU B30 Pro, you get some, but you do not get a lot when it comes down to customizing your device. On Motorola, you get your classic karate chop for your flashlight and your twist for your cameras. And you also get a whole bunch of stuff when it comes down to customization on the Motorola. But as far as operating systems go, they both look pretty similar and they both offer that stock Android feel. It's just you're going to get a little bit more customization and features on the Motorola Edge, and especially you also do get that ready for option, so you can connect your device to a monitor or your TV. While over here on the NUU B30 Pro, you do not get stuff like that. So yeah, software definitely goes to the Motorola for that. The NUU B30 Pro does have an IR blaster, so you can control your TV and everything else using that IR blaster. So that's really nice to see on a device. The Motorola does not have an IR blaster, so keep that in mind. So going on over to the battery of both of these guys. So the Motorola does come with a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, 68 watt wired charging, and 15 watt wireless charging on the Motorola. The NUU B30 Pro does come with a 5,000 milliamp hour battery as well, 30 watt wired charging, but does not have any wireless charging whatsoever. So I would say the Motorola definitely wins with that higher wattage charging, but you do not get a charger in the box over here, while on the NUU B30 Pro, you do get a charger in the box. Granted, it's going to be a lower wattage charger, but you still get everything you need in the box along with the case. And that is really, really nice. Also came with a pre-installed screen protector. While over here on the Motorola Edge, you did not get anything but a cable and your SIM ejection tool. So that is definitely sad. You get a little bit more over here, but then you get faster charging on the Motorola Edge. And you also get that wireless charging on there as well. So as far as what I think the Motorola Edge definitely comes in over the NUU B30 Pro. Both are about the same price, I would say. You can get the Motorola Edge off of T-Mobile for like $299, and the NUU B30 Pro is the same price pretty much at $300. So it depends on you. You want everything in the box, nice little package with the screen protector, case, and charger with the NUU B30 Pro, or do you want a little bit more power, better cameras, faster charging, and a nicer display on the Motorola Edge? Depending on what you want to spend your $300 on, that is totally up to you. I'm just here to provide you with the information. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this comparison between the Motorola Edge 2024 and the NUU B30 Pro. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And I will see you next time here on the channel. Peace.